Colorado mayor arrested for shoplifting. In a story stretching back to 2001, the back-and-forth fate of a monument inscribed with the Ten Commandments placed in front of Grand Junction, Colorado City Hall has now taken a comical turn, or should we say yet another comical turn. Refford Theobald, age 61, who's been both mayor and city councilman at times and has always tried every trick he could to keep the monument in its place on government property, has now been caught shoplifting and will be tried on that charge in late December. Over the years, the city's numerous contortions intended to save the positioning of the monument have amounted to tens of thousands of dollars thus far in various expenses, and the matter is still not completely settled. Local politicians have been turned out of office over the issue, which has gone on for so long that some of these office holders have simply retired. If it wasn't enough irony in this story already, it should be noted that Theobald is accused of shoplifting a couple of candy bars and a map. After the city feared a protracted legal battle, it spent an additional $64,000 for a disclaimer that accompanies the monument, stating that the monument itself does not advocate the adoption of any particular religious point of view. If actions speak louder than words, perhaps there's some truth in that statement. Australian government accuses 6 Islamic schools of breaching Education Act. Governments around the world have traditionally made allowances that favor religious institutions, particularly, but not always, those which cater to the majority population. In Australia, religious schools are allowed to receive government funds as long as they operate on a non-profit basis. Now, 6 schools in the cities of Brisbane, Melbourne, Sydney, Canberra, as well as a school in South Australia and another school in Western Australia, have been told that they are in violation of this prohibition following an audit which was initiated in June. The monies in question total tens of millions of dollars, and the schools have 28 days to respond or risk losing all government financial support going forward. Most of the schools have already indicated their intention to comply. Her again. Several Christian and Christian-friendly websites recently reported on a clip from the newly released comedy album with a hint of snide indignation in their tones. The clip on comedy writer Mike O'Brien's album Tasty Radio features award-winning actress Scarlett Johansson reading from the Book of Deuteronomy in a breathy, sex-kitten voice as music reminiscent of a 70s porn soundtrack plays in the background. All the while, O'Brien interjects about how aroused her reading is making him. Nancy French, who blogs for the Faith and Family channel on Patheos' website, remarked on how the entertainment industry would never mock Islam in this way, saying, "They have a special term in Hollywood for making fun of Christianity. They call it Tuesday." Of course, Deuteronomy is actually part of the Old Testament, making it more of a mockery of Judaism, but that wouldn't fit the Christian martyr narrative she was going for. The website Christianity Today was even more peeved. The writer of that site's article cited Breitbart's report on the clip. Although the writer, Zarina Ong, seems to be under the impression that Tasty Radio is a podcast or an actual radio program. Wrote Ong, "A lot of people aren't happy with the duo's mockery of the Bible. It's so pathetic for them to pretend to be brave and edgy by mocking the Bible and Christians with lies," someone commented. Neither Ong nor the cited commenter, however, explains how a direct reading from the Bible constitutes lies.